July 25th, 2026 episode of AEW Collision went off the air a little while ago. I had camera problems, and we've got a lot to talk about. So, run it. We started the night off pretty clean and simply with Ciampa taking on Zach Wentz, and it was a really good match. Ciampa is really trying to build himself up for this match that he has against Jericho coming up tomorrow night on Redemption. I think it all looks super good. I think he is going to put up a hell of a fight. The Painmaker moniker that Jericho has brought back for this pay-per-view should be very interesting. I'm going to just assume that both men are going to bleed at some point. But, don't quote me on that. We'll just have to see as we go. Ciampa did end up with the victory, so good on him. And then we rolled straight into the next thing. Mike Bailey popped up in the backstage area and was just talking about how excited he was that he got chosen as one of the 6 men for the ladder match at Redemption to take on the international champion. So whoever wins that is going to have a real nice little boost. And it's jam-packed. I'm so excited to see it. And we'll talk more about that because there's 2 matches that come up tonight for the right to be in that match. We moseyed into the second match of the night, which saw the Young Bucks taking on Garcia and Yuta. It was a pretty strong match. Young Bucks obviously took the victory, even though the Death Riders did attempt to have a lot of interference and make things even more difficult for the boys. But they did end up with the victory. There was a little bit of a brawl afterwards. It was a decent match top to bottom. No complaints. We followed that up with a replay of something that happened at the San Diego Comic-Con where Brodito popped up during a questionnaire panel and goaded Kyle Fletcher into a little bit of a brawl. That was very silly, but hey, goofy wrestling for life. Then we got to see Persephone do a squash match against a young woman named Angelica. It was Persephone doing her Persephone thing. Nothing more to add to that. Then Athena and her cronies were in the back doing a little bit of a promo. Athena seems to be having some words for other women in the division, and it sounds like she's going to try to start being more active in the AEW roster, but it was good to see Billy Starks again, so that's a plus. The next match could have gone a little bit longer, but it was jam-packed from bell to bell. We got to see Nick Wayne take on AR Fox for the night's first ladder match qualifier. They really had to fill 2 more spots, so this was the first of the night, and Nick Wayne pulled it out. I'm very excited to see what he can bring to a ladder match, how willing he is to kind of throw himself around. I'm not saying he's got to be like Darby Allin, but there is an inherent amount of risk in these matches, and if you're not willing to topple from an extra 15 feet up off the ring mat, you shouldn't be in the match. So congratulations to Nick Wayne. Let's see what you got. Then we got to see the Outrunners and Dalton Castle take on the Conglomeration for the AEW Trios titles. That was a very fun match. It's good to see Dalton again. We haven't seen the Outrunners on AEW for a little while. The crowd still loves them. Everybody popped for pretty much everybody that was in the match, which was really fun to see. The Conglomeration did end up with the victory at the end. Orange Cassidy was having a pose-off at one point. It was very silly, but congratulations to the Conglomeration for hanging on to your trios titles, and now the Outrunners and Dalton Castle can head back down to ROH and continue to hang on to their titles. Then we jumped into the back for a second where Jack Perry was doing his own little promo because he is also part of the 6-man ladder match for the shot at the international title. Nick Wayne popped up and was like, "Oh, I guess I'll see you there. Ha ha ha." It wasn't anything too crazy. There wasn't really a brawl or anything afterwards. So 5 of the 6 men at this point, and we're about to find out who number 6 is. Our second to last match of the night, we got to see 2 very fun people. Number 1, we get to see El Clone, my boy. And number 2, we get to see Leo Rush. And Blackheart Leo Rush versus El Clone was a demon versus demon match I did not think I wanted, but I need at least 2 more. It was so much fun from top to bottom. I'm giving it match of the night. Both guys working their character is just something to behold, especially when they're sharing the ring like this. This was for the final spot of the ladder match, and I was so torn the entire time. Because number 1, like I said, huge El Clone fan. But number 2, being able to see Lio Rush take on 5 other guys to climb a ladder and win a contract would be so much fun. In the end, El Clone got the victory, which kind of surprised me because he did just come back from CMLL. He's been down there doing some stuff for a little while, and they are kind of pushing Rush at the moment. However, I'm not mad at that decision. I think Clone being in the ladder match is going to make it a little bit more technically fun. Whereas if Rush was in there, he would probably just be a strange little gremlin and run around and scare people. So I'm happy with the decision. I would have been happy either way. Hopefully they start to push El Clone a little bit more, especially now that he's really using that new mask where this eye bit gets peeled off and he's wearing 2 different colored contacts. So he had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun watching it. Lio Rush looks like he's having the time of his life with this character work right now. Match of the night. Go find a replay. Do yourself a favor. Just before we got to the main event, we had a quick little promo between the Bang Bang Gang and the Dogs again. And it's official. They're going to have a tag team chain match. So Jay White and Juice Robinson are going to have Clark and Connors. They're going to pair up, each have a dog chain attached to them, and it's going to be a wild ride. And I'm very curious to see if somehow during this whole match they get the chains tangled up and all 4 of them just end up standing in the middle of the ring, throwing haymakers until somebody falls over. Then we got to the main event, which saw women's tag action, so that's fun. It was Willow and World versus Sheeta and Tekla. All the alliteration you could ever want right there. It was mildly hard-hitting. Willow tried to do a cannonball off the apron to the floor, wound up just on the floor. Sheeta got her kendo stick back from Maya World. There was just lots of animosity between all 4 women. But in the end, Sheeta and Tekla pulled out the victory. They had a little pose at the very end of everything before the stream went dark. And now we move on to tomorrow's pay-per-view, and I can't wait to see what happens. So, everybody have a great night. We'll fire it up tomorrow. I'll try to find somewhere to post my predictions, and we'll just have to go from there. So, have fun. Stay hydrated. Make yourself happy. Peace.